I swear every second that I've spent on LinkedIn in the past few months has been completely against my will.
Hi, I'm Sia, a professional storyboard artist in animation. If you want my take on the animation industry, make sure to like, subscribe, and join my Discord community where I offer free Q&As, monthly streams, and a one-on-one mentorship program that is just $19.99. It's the best way to support this channel, and you get feedback on anything animation related. Link is in the description box below.
The whole AI debate is really big. Some people think that it's just another tech grift. It's just machine learning repackaged as artificial intelligence, even though there is not necessarily anything original about it. And some people think it's like the future of animation, and a lot of people in my comment section especially are dying for me to lose my job and be unemployed forever because they are desperate for AI to take over. It's weird, like some of you really claim to be animation fans and to miss like the days of Disney classics, and yet at the same time you're here wishing for AI to take over my job just because you don't like me. As you guys know, I'm unemployed at the moment. I'm on the hunt for my next animation storyboarding job, and that means I have to subject myself to LinkedIn on a very regular basis just so I can pay my bills. And there's just been this influx of what I can only call like AI slop that's taken over my feed, even though I make it a point to only connect with and follow other, like animation industry professionals. And normally when I see AI slop on my LinkedIn feed, it's usually just people that are like sponsoring their posts or trying to pass themselves off as a real artist. And I just ignore it because, it's just not worth my time. I'm just here job hunting. But sometimes it's so egregious that it warrants like a pretty big reaction from me. This one really got me. What really got me is not only how bad the animation is, and I'm gonna get into why it's so bad in a few seconds, but how self-aggrandizing their status is. This person claims to teach 3D modeling and animation in Maya, Blender, 3dsm, and Unreal. And I quote, they said, "My general advice to my students is don't waste your time." Because they think what they came up with in Kling AI is so amazing. And it's so bad that it's like hypnotic. Like I can't stop staring at it. Full disclosure, I'm not a CG animator by any means. I did some CG animation when I was in school at Ringling, so I have like a very general understanding of how it works. The fact that I, as a career storyboard artist, can tell you exactly what is wrong with this, like should highlight that this is nowhere near industry level. Like even a beginner CG animator would not make the mistakes that are in here. The first thing that you'll notice is this arm, this leg right here, it is literally switching positions. I want you to look at this arm in particular, okay? Like the one that's facing us. I'm gonna slow it down so you can observe it a bit better. What is that? Why is it in a shadow all of a sudden? Why is it blending in with the arm in the back? What? What am I looking at? What is that? How can your AI be like a game changer if it can't even do a basic walk cycle? What is this? Dude, this is nowhere even remotely close to being passable. Like, oh my god, and it's not even on a loop. Like, one of the first things you learn in any animation class is doing a walk cycle. Okay, a cycle, a loop, an endless loop that loops perfectly. What is this? This person literally said, "I teach 3D modeling and animation in Maya, 3dsm, Blender, and Unreal. My general advice to students is don't waste your time." They can't even do a basic quadruped walk cycle. How? Just look at that articulated musculature. Dude, the musculature makes no sense. Okay, let's look at the front leg, the one that's in the back. Where is the articulated musculature? Like, look at what is happening here. Like this. Where did the musculature go? Oh my god. Where is the articulated musculature? Where did it go? Oh my god. Okay, I found the... Dude, what is happening here? Oh my god. It's literally switching position. Like, this lighting makes no sense. The top of it is lit like it's in the front, and then the foot's like in the back. Like, what? What is that? I don't understand. Richard Williams is rolling in his grave. What? Oh my god. I guess the back leg is better since it's not switching. In general, the animation feels very like airy and weightless to me. I think the reason for that is because the chest and the hips aren't really like moving up and down as much as they need to. Here, let me take a look. Okay, just keep an eye on this line right here. Okay, the chest is supposed to move like up and down when the weight shifts, and it's not really doing that. I mean, the hips are like kind of doing that. Oh my god. I'm so distracted by the legs like switching positions that I can't even pay attention to the chest. I also don't know what they mean when they talk about their articulated musculature. Like, just because you see a lot of detail doesn't mean that it's actually articulated well. Like here, I guess it kind of makes sense. But then it like pulls back and then there's like a whole other muscle right here that just pops up. Like, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand. I'm pretty sure it should be moving like from this shoulder joint right here, but it's not. Like, it just looks like there's like a whole other muscle that like pops up right here. I'm gonna open up everyone's animation Bible so we can take a look at what an actual quadruped cycle is supposed to look like. So yeah, pay attention to the chest and the pelvis. They're basically supposed to like go up and down in a smooth motion, depending on the pose. So for this pose, for example, like when the leg is down, the chest goes up because all of the weight is on that leg. Because you'll notice like if you're standing up and you're shifting your weight from like one side to another, if you put your weight on your right leg, your right hip naturally goes up and your left hip like drops down a little bit, okay? So basically, whatever leg is holding like all of your weight is the joint that goes up. Okay, so for in this pose, the right leg has all the weight on it, so it's like higher. As the weight is being shifted to the left leg, the joint starts to drop down a little bit. So now the weight is slowly being lifted away from this leg. So the chest is dropping down and more of the weight is on the right leg, the right rear leg, so the pelvis goes up. And I want you to look at the head tilt too. The head also moves accordingly. Head up, head down, shoulder up. So basically in a general animal walk cycle, you have contact poses when the heel makes contact with the ground. You have a passing pose when the weight shifts from one leg to another. You have the down pose when the weight is all the way down on one leg. And then you have an up pose for when the leg is being lifted up and the weight shifts to the back leg, okay? The head's like moving, but it's more so like, feels like it's shifting in size as opposed to reflecting the weight of the body. Like there's no actual down pose, which makes it feel so weird and like weightless. The angle, if you look at the line of action on the spine, like in general, it stays like pretty much the same, when in reality, look at how much it's actually supposed to move. Okay, like it goes up, it stays even, it goes down, and then it goes up again, okay? This is how you actually show the movement of weight in animation, and it's one of the most essential basic things that beginner animators learn. The fact that like all of the fundamentals of animation are missing here, and the fact that this person thinks that this looks good and they're a teacher is just mind-boggling to me. Like, they literally said, just because your pappy walked 15 miles uphill through the snow doesn't mean you have to as well. You didn't even walk. You didn't do anything. You pressed a button, you got in a car, like you didn't do anything.
Just a quick little plug. In addition to being a professional artist, I am also an ADHD coach. If you're an artist like me who also has ADHD and you struggle with things like being able to focus on your work, setting goals, getting your portfolio done, I have a 6-week ADHD coaching program that I've designed specifically for people like us. I have individual and group ADHD coaching sessions available. The next cohort starts in January of 2025. If you're interested in reserving your spot, or if you just want to know more about it, there's going to be a link in the description box below. Okay, back to the video.
Here's the other thing that actually got me, and a lot of people in the comments are roasting them, and in my opinion, rightfully so. This real animator literally points out, the arms are so fun to watch how they change into each other on first glance. Long ways to go, but animators spend years on understanding these cycles. We're destroying ourselves a little bit here. By the way, this cycle is not good. Muscles don't feel real. It's as if balloons appear and disappear. Thank you. You're cheating your students. The neck and head don't feel connected. Go back to the drawing board. This is not professional work. Learn to walk before you run. And the original poster said, stop thinking so much. Like, what? Oh my god. This is the one that kills me, okay? An actual animator said, how would you rig this? Very sensible question to ask. How would you be able to import this into an engine? What file format is this, okay? For those of you that don't know, a rig is basically the equivalent of like a digital puppet. A rig is the kind of like the skeletal system that allows a 3D model to move. The rig gives you different controls at different points on the character, so you can manipulate each one individually. It's kind of like if you have an image that you load in Photoshop and you hit the transform tool, it gives you those little points that you can manipulate, right? A rig is like a complex animatable version of that, okay? So this animator asked a very reasonable and very sensible question that literally anyone worth their salt would ask. How would you rig this? How would you be able to import this into an engine? What file format is this? This person had the audacity to say, no need, rigging is ancient history. You can't even make a cycle that actually loops, and you think rigging is ancient history? Without a rig, no one can fix this. This is a useless, like, flattened video, essentially. Like, if you can't manipulate this, there is no use for it in an actual animation pipeline. This is what you get when you look at things in a very surface level way, but you don't actually acknowledge the fundamentals that go into creating any sort of art. Like, animation is a lot more complicated than it looks. And just because it, like, looks okay at first glance doesn't mean it's actually usable. Even if it looped perfectly and it made sense, how are you going to implement it in a pipeline without a rig? That's insane. This is why I'm not entirely convinced that AI is gonna be like the death of every artist's career. Sure, it's something to keep an eye on, and it is arguably a bit threatening, but it's not gonna replace us anytime soon. It can't even do a basic walk cycle. Anyway, that is all I got today. My blood pressure is way too high, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!